Good evening, Kevin.
She's got a point, hasn't she, Nadine Dorries?
Oh, she's got some great points to make, and it was a wonderful interview to listen to. This idea that there may not be a BBC in 10 years' time, she was even speculating on that. And she admitted she didn't have a crystal ball to work out what was going on, but she's a complete breath of fresh air, isn't she? That's what I really like about Nadine. And she knows quite a lot about her brief already. I've never read one of her books, but I heard through listening to that interview that you played a clip from that she sold over 2.5 million copies of her books. So she understands these things, and I'm just so happy that she's the new culture secretary.
Yes, she also took aim at the political bias at the
Mm.
corporation. She wants answers as to what the bosses intend to do about, we can call it, it's clear political bias to the left. Its stance on Brexit or Remain was, a national disgrace, to be honest with you, but for all their efforts, they didn't win. The public voted Brexit, and people do not trust that organisation to be unbiased and impartial anymore. She wants answers. Do you think she'll get them?
She's going to try and get the answers, and I like her approach. It's not a case of just settling this new license fee settlement for the next 5 years, and then the BBC deciding what it's going to change, which is exactly what the BBC wants to do. She has made it clear that she wants to know what those changes are going to be, and then we get the license fee settlement. So she is certainly going about it in the right way.
Yeah, she's clearly set out to be tough with the BBC. To be honest with you, the Culture Secretary's job often boils down to dealing with the BBC. All Culture Secretaries seem to spend half their time tackling the BBC issue, and it is all about, when does their next charter come up, how much license fee payers' money do they deserve anymore. She sounds like someone who wouldn't mind the whole kind of license fee system winding down completely. I'd certainly agree with her there. Now, when she says the BBC might not be around in 10 years, I think what she means is the BBC as a state-sponsored, publicly funded
Yes.
broadcaster might not be around. I want the BBC to survive forever. Well, at its best, it's an excellent broadcaster. I just don't see why I have to pay for it on pain of legal prosecution. I don't see why, if I want to watch Strictly Come Dancing and I haven't paid my 159 quid TV license, I can potentially go to prison. It's mad.
There will certainly be our BBC around in 10 years' time, but we hope that it's not the BBC that we have now. But I've said on many occasions that the BBC is holding on to an analog funding solution in a digital world. Nadine said that she doesn't have a crystal ball. She doesn't know what's going to happen in 10 years. But I can tell you that 15 years ago in 2006, Facebook was opened up to everyone aged 13 years and older with an email. Twitter was launched. YouTube was bought by Google. This is just 15 years ago. Even if you look at talk radio, who would have thought just 2 or 3 years ago that there would have been talk radio TV? The Freedom Association, we can put on a webinar and we can broadcast it live on YouTube, and people can sit in their living rooms and watch it on their TV. The media landscape has changed enormously over the last 15 years, Kev, as we both know. So therefore, over the next 10 years, there's going to be quite a lot more change.
Yeah, and the BBC, and for that matter, the other terrestrial broadcasters, ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, they all look a little like foxes caught in the headlights, startled by the sudden onset of the streaming giants, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Apple TV. Now, these are offering alternatives, particularly to young people, that certainly render the BBC's contention that it's vital to public life in Britain rather redundant. It's not true. There's a whole generation, people under 30, couldn't give a flying thingamajig about the BBC. They really couldn't care. I nearly got in trouble there. But you see, you know what I'm saying. Young people,
I know exactly what
they
you're saying,
they want to watch Netflix. They don't want to watch BBC. So the BBC is clinging to its past glory in a world that's sort of forgotten it.
It is. I've got a 22-year-old son. He never really watches live television. But as you quite rightly mentioned, it's all the terrestrial broadcasters, really. I was listening to some interviews actually on Talk Radio after the sad death of John Challis, who played Boise in Only Fools and Horses, and you hear about these ratings where it went up to about 20 million, and there was a Christmas special. I mean, the broadcasters can only dream of ratings like that now. I think it was a few months ago I heard that more people have watched some DIY type of program on one of the strange channels that I've never heard of than actually tuned into Coronation Street. Yeah. I mean, the media landscape has just changed completely. These terrestrial broadcasters are not getting the audience numbers that they used to get.
And the Director General, Tim Davie, and his faithful acolytes love to say that for £159 a year, we provide an unrivaled service. It's such brilliant value for money. I say fine. But this is a free capitalist society where we should be able to make our own commercial decisions. So what I say about the BBC is, if you think your service is so brilliant, offer it to me, and I might agree with you, and then I'll give you £159, but I might not, and therefore I'll give you nothing. So what I say, the BBC should have the commercial imperative. It can sell itself to the public, and if the public want to pay for it, they can, and if they don't, they won't. That's the future for the BBC, a standalone, independent broadcaster. Would you agree?
Yes, it has to be the future for the BBC. I mean, every time you hear someone from the BBC saying that this is great value for money, it probably is. If you consume BBC content just about every day, you listen to BBC radio, you watch BBC television programs on a regular basis, they cost 159 quid, great value for money if that's what you enjoy. But if you don't watch the BBC very much, and I don't watch the BBC very much, I'm paying exactly the same on the point of being fined. If I don't pay the fine, I could be sent to prison. The BBC's got to back itself. I think it's got a lot to offer. I agree with you and what you've said previously. It's got a hell of a lot to offer. So just trust your products and just let people make their own choice. We should be looking now, and I hope Nadine Dorries is going to do this, is in 5 years' time, we have got to be moving away from this license fee and looking at moving it more to a subscription-based model. Surely they can do that in 5 years.
I think we owe it to ourselves as a sensible modern country. It's a strange and bizarre anachronism that, if you don't pay to watch Strictly Come Dancing, you can potentially go to prison. I don't think people ever get on board just how weird that is. That doesn't happen in any other country in the entire world, and the legal requirement to pay for the BBC has to end, and it sounds to me like Nadine is going to move hell for leather to get that to happen, and in that respect she'll have my full backing. Andrew, always a pleasure to speak. Thanks so much for your time.